YouTube, 22K, welcome back. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the 2T Christmas spectacular Nintendomas. It's not all Nintendo, a lot of Nintendo, but there's a lot to get through. Grab a beer, grab a drink, grab some food. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. It's been a year, But we made it, we've nearly made it. We haven't made it yet, nearly made it. I've got a CD playing in the background. I don't care about copyright. It's not copyright. Someone was just going to put money on my video, so the ads won't be mine. But I ain't that bothered. It's just a bit of ambiance music, and it just saves me being really, lazy at putting music at the background. It just took me the best part of half an hour to burn a CD because it's been that long since anyone's burnt a CD. I know. Everyone's like, well, why don't you just play? Because I've got no speakers on my PC. So anyway, that's by the by. We digress. We will be at Christmas probably by the time I even get round to uploading this. It's the 21st now. And yeah, like I say, there's a lot to get through. I'll do my usual. Look, I ain't going to lament too much on this. I'm not going to open boxes and show you the manuals and the cartridges and look how clean the pins are. Look, all these games are complete, otherwise I wouldn't be showing them. And if there was one that wasn't complete, I'd tell you. So you don't really need to know that. I don't think anyone's really that interested. I don't think anyone's that really interested at full stop. There we go. But it is a little bit of a mix. Like I say, it's not just Nintendo. There's a lot of Nintendo. But we've got Sega, we've got Atari, and we've got Sony. We've got some PlayStation stuff for the Sony ponies out there. So you should all be happy. You should all be happy. But like I say, there's a lot to get through. And some really nice bits. Again, I've mentioned that previously in vid. So without further ado, let's crack on. So I'm going to start with some Nintendo stuff. A lot of this kind of from bundles. My usual style, you know, buy a bundle, keep some stuff, sell some stuff, etc. These were actually from a Game Boy bundle, 2 Game Boys, like OG DMGs, and these didn't have any games in them. They were just empty boxes. So one I bought, I went on a bid, which is really weird because it was like when these turned up and I won these, the bid for this cartridge ended like in about a day, and I ended up winning the bid, which was really cool. Not a game I really even know about. And then some of them are patently obvious. And then, like I said, there's a DS game and there's one that I bought from CX. So the ones that I got in the bundle, and I had these. I had 1, 2, and 3 of these on Game Boy Advance. And obviously I had a cull of Game Boy games years ago. Many I regret. One of them back in here. But this was another one. This is Sonic Advance. And from what I can remember, these are pretty good games on the old GBA, the old Sonic Advance ones. Play pretty nicely. And like I say, there is 3 of them. And I'm sure I had all 3 of them. But this came, it was just an empty box with a manual, but no cart. But I did have a cart, and I must have kept the cart from whenever, another job lot. So pieced that together. That was very, very nice. This one was another one that was in that set. Again, box, manual, no cartridge. This is the one that I won on bids. Never heard of this before. It transpires, I think this is a bit like Power Stone, Smash Bros-esque. Quite sought after, I think. I won the cart for 17 quid. And that is Sonic Battle. Didn't know it was a thing. Sonic Battle. Those that will know will know. But yeah, very Power Stone esque in that respect. Or Smash Bros, but probably more leaning towards Power Stone, I think. It looks less 3D. So yeah, I'll add that to collection. And then this is a weird one. So this is in that same little bundle. And I was speaking to a couple of people in the comments. I think Stu Ninja Bear Hug, somebody else, I can't recall now. Because I was after the bigger box version of this, and they're hunting the smaller box. What do I get? The smaller box, it has got a slight blemish there. But again, this was just cart, box and manual, no cart. And I had the cart. So I thought, you know what, we're going to add that. I do need to get some more box protectors. But yeah, F1 race. It's just a cool little one. Apparently this is like more sought after. I wouldn't say rare, but it's more sought after because obviously the form factor it fits in. So yeah, we'll add that one in. And then a couple, again, this one I had, and this was one that I really regretted selling. I mentioned this, I picked this back up from CEX. I think it was like Soldier's Box and Manual. And yeah, needed a little bit of ironing. We got that done. And it's Zelda Minish Cap. A great Zelda game. I think I played it when I first got it. I played it so far. I think I got stuck. I can't remember. I can't recall where, but I definitely haven't not completed this. I'd like them to bring this to the Nintendo online thing on Switch 2. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe one day they will. I'm sure they will. But yeah, Switch 2 again. In really nice. That just reminds me, Switch 2. Right, we'll do that one after this. And then lastly, just from a Nintendo handheld perspective, can't remember, bundle of Game Boy DS games. Probably bought it for the DS's, to be honest. This was in there. I think I've got this. Well, I say I've got this. I think the daughter's got this in her sort of DS set there. I haven't got it on my shelf, and I thought, you know what, it ain't gonna cost me anything. And it's part of the sort of Mario RPG line of family, and it's Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. So yeah, we'll have that one. And then just remind me, talk Switch, like Switch 2 and stuff. At the time of recording this, on the 21st of December, I am still playing through Metroid Prime 4. Don't know you talk about modern gaming. I do play modern gaming. I tend to play modern gaming more regularly than I do retro, which is a bit of a shame. Hence why the analogs 3D's put back on the back burner because of this. I didn't like it at the start. I ain't gonna lie. This kind of like FPS first person sort of shooty game, not really my bag. I just struggle with the dexterity and the sort of viewing, especially if it's not mouse and keyboard. I just can't do it with the analog sticks. I kind of get, I know it's got auto aim and stuff, but yeah, enjoying it more now. I'm like really late in the game. I've got all 5 keys and stuff like that, so I'm kind of enjoying it all more now. I've probably because I'm like dying a bit less. I don't like the save or lack of save locations for a modern game. I think that's a bit brutal. You know, there's bits in it earlier on where you can lead off to a whole level, and if you don't save it, because there's no generally very few intermittent save states, you're back to your previous save state. So there's a lot. I know it's Metroidvania, and I know people will say that's part of the things to bit too much backtracking to go back and save, if that makes sense. But it is what it is. Enjoying it now. Wouldn't really rate it as like sort of one of my faves or anything like that. It's a good story though. So yeah, there you go. That's my very brief review of Metroid Prime 4. Hope we're all well. Right, let's do some Atari and get the Atari out of it. And there may be some jump cuts here because I've got to move stuff around. So the old 2600, the old fave. Again, these probably would have come. Would these have come from a job lot and or that secret site that I use? This one was definitely secret site. Adventures on GX12. One of the Telegames releases, and these do have nice thick, heavy stock cardboard. No idea. It looks a bit like Elevator Action or a Mission Impossible, that kind of thing. But again, can't speak to it too much. Get off. Activision one. Usually a stamp of quality. I think. No, I don't think I've ever played this one. No, I'm thinking of a different game. But yeah, Grand Prix, no graphics on the back, screenshots. So, I mean, the graphics, I don't really know which style of game is it. Top down, behind, not really sure. Again, it's been up there a while. A lot of these needed fettling. This one probably came with Grand Prix, Blackjack. I have blackjack's 21 in it. Is that 21 pontoon? I don't know. Since I'm terrible with cards, I don't gamble. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no real inclination to learn it either. And then one, I have tried to save this as best I can. Some games you ain't ever going to do it. Weirdly, I didn't have this in the set. It's just one of them ones that I just never stumbled upon, but I managed to bag it. Dig Dug. A great one screen. Single screen arcade game this is. You blow the enemies up and collect all the stuff, and you're gonna watch yourself not getting caught and crushed and stuff. But yeah, it's got that so at some point this was clearly sealed and opened later on in its life, because it's got that bit of a something that I just can't get that out for love nor money, because it's just part of the cardboard. And I mean, the only other way probably to wedge some tissue in there and then leave it for about a year to try and reform the card that way, but I can't really be bothered. It's not worth it. So that is the Atari. That's all the Atari. Slowed down on the old Atari this year. Second half of this year. It's just like I say, I tend to try and buy the bundles, and they just haven't really been about, I suppose, for want of a better word. So yeah, kind of like slowed down a little bit with them. Got bits of bloody fluff on me from this hat. Right, next up, we'll do. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do some Wii. Been on a bit of a Wii kick, believe it or not. Some of these items I think I may have, but given that they don't really owe me a great deal, I thought I'll add them. I'll keep them until I can get, probably in the summer now, get into the garage and have a look at the tubs and just see what's what. Because I've done this before in the past where I've convinced myself I've had them, and I probably have had the games, and then I've sold them and then realised I actually haven't got them. So rather than do that and look a right tit, I think I'll just keep hold of them and I'll wait. They ain't worth a great deal, except for probably one of them. So, the one that I'm pretty sure I've got, which surprised me how much it's worth, is Punch Out. It's about 35, 36 quid this is on the old CEX. So, yeah, we'll keep hold of that for the time being. I'm like 99% sure I've got this. But again, if I fucking sold it and then went, oh, I haven't got it, I'll be really annoyed with myself. And again, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really owe me much. Again, the rest of these, there ain't no real value in them, just purely from a collector's, hoarder's perspective, which clearly I am. FIFA 13, Wii U. Again, not really like going rabid on the Wii U. If I see them and I need them, I'll add them. Again, I'm pretty sure I've got this one, but it's kind of like a just in case I ain't. Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing. This one looks quite cool. X-Men Destiny. I don't know, maybe looks like a 3D venture, maybe, kind of game. Not sure, really. But, again, not worth a great deal. As is this one, Ready to Rumble Boxing 2. Can't say if I've actually got this one. This one, when I saw this, I thought, I don't recall ever actually having this. Again, probably more of a Dreamcast game, let's be honest, isn't it? Pinball, Dream Pinball, the old digital pinball. I know some people like these, some people don't. I don't mind them. Obviously, it goes back, you know, Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies on the old Amiga, and this looks all right. I can't really speak to it, but it looks all right. Let's have a slurp. We'll do this one first next. Again, can't say if I've got it or not. I don't really know. Tiger Woods PJ Tour 11. I'm not really sure why that's there. I don't know. Maybe that was a mistake. This one definitely wasn't a mistake. I know on the old 360, the PS3, and probably most systems, they've got a bit of a a cult following, hold their value if that's a word. It's just Spider-Man 3. Looks like a 3D type affair. No sort of comparison to the PS4 releases and stuff like that. But quite clean copies. And then quite interestingly, what came with, again, these are just from multiple job lots of Wii stuff, was this for the conduit. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got the conduit. I have got the actual, it's here. I am convinced I've got this in the sleeve. I should have kept this. I'll put it to the one side. So yeah, I'm guessing at some point that came with that. I do believe people quite highly rate this one. Conduit 2, now you're talking. That is actually quite rare. But I know this one was quite well regarded. I'm not sure if the second one is a patch on the first, or if it's just like it didn't sell because it's a bit crap. But anyway, with that conduit, I got this. Box is not great, but it is an ickle set, a speakers look. Well, that's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll stick that in the vault, never to be seen again. But yeah, again, probably not worth a great deal, but it's worth more to me than it probably is in value. I'm gonna have a top up jump cut. Still sticking with Wii. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but these are some quite interesting items now. Tap pile of stuff to one side, and they weren't the whatnot. So when I sort of said, "Oh, you want to see some of the great stuff?" Everyone's going, "The fuck, fucking Wii U games? Are you for real, Toots? Fucking hell." That's not what I was referring to. I'll just save the good stuff till last. If you're that fucking bored, fast forward over. And I don't blame you. Use a little thing at the bottom. Ignore all the shit that you're not interested in. But these are some quite interesting bits. Again, these two things I've never seen before. This other one, I'll show you this other one. This ain't in the greatest condition, but it's got everything in it, which is a little bit unusual for this. So there's always scope to upgrade. And I remember seeing this in Game Station years and years and years ago, and I never bought it, and I fucking kicked myself. But again, so this come up in a job lot, not with it, just different bits. Does that make sense? Not all of this Wii stuff was in the job lot. I think that's what I'm trying to do. It's like 3 or 4 different job lots, but it's the Monster Hunter 3 Tri Limited Edition set. But the chest, but it's just cardboard and ain't survived. I mean, it's not terrible, but it ain't great. Obviously, some moron is just like can't peel stuff off properly and just gone at it. I mean, there's probably very little I can do with this, truth be told. I could probably get some of the sticker residue off or whatever, but outside of that, not really. It has got all of this stuff in there. The little monster heads are quite good. There's actually 2 monster heads, so if anyone knows where the other one is from, it's a red coloured one. I still haven't worked out how it all goes together. There's bits everywhere, but it's got, just so I can show you, because someone might know, it's got a red and a blue. So it's got this a red one, dragon, but it's also got a blue one. Now on the front it only shows you the blue one. So there's the blue one, look. So I don't know where the red one's come from, because that's not on the box. So now, full disclosure, I tried to play this, maybe the Wii U version, I think. I couldn't get into it. I know it's really highly regarded. I can't remember what that says. It says Lagrus. It's blue, but I've got Soldier. I've got 2. There's a red one and a blue one. Well, does this come in 2 variants? I don't know. But I say the box, it's just the top bit. So all the bits are there. At some point, I'll probably try to, if I stumble across one, I'll upgrade it. I don't know. But yeah, something a little bit unusual, and I like that. I like, you know, the weird, because you know, the majority of stuff I've seen and I've had and I've got. But when it's bits like that, I'm like, ooh, something different. And like I say, I remember seeing it in the window Game Station years ago. I didn't buy it. I think it was probably on sale, clearance, whatever you'd call it. Not with the impending Wii U release or Wii U would come out. But don't quote me on that. Right, these two I've never seen before. There's a job lot, and I saw the second thing I'll show you. That was there, and that's what piqued my interest because I'd never seen it. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this, and I won the bid. And then when it come through, this other thing was in here, and I was like, and I thought, I don't remember seeing that. And I went and checked the listing, and it wasn't. So quite happy, it actually worked out better than I thought. So the one that wasn't in the listing, other than like the loose game, but not in this set, is Ghost Squad. It's called the Intervention Pack. So all it is basically Ghost Squad and the Zapper. Right? It's not anything spectacular outside of that. But not with anything Nintendo. It's all in the cardboard. It's all in the cardboard, Stu. Yeah, it's just a cardboard box. Well, I don't know why I'm showing you that. But yeah, quite nicely presented and stuff. But again, I know Ghost Squad, the game itself is like peanuts. It's a nothingness game. But it is a good shooter. It is a good on-rail shooter, isn't it? But yeah, this sort of pack set, I don't know, for some reason it's quite, you know, it's worth a few quid, let's just say that. Given that it's just a plastic controller in the game in a box. Right, so that one, I say, wasn't expecting it to be there because it wasn't in the picture. This one was. Now, there is one caveat to this, and I actually thought when I first got it, I thought, oh, that's part of it, because it does look like it should be part of it. It's not. It's not, unfortunately, but it is pretty cool, and you could probably get away with saying it's part of it. So, in a similar vein to Ghost Squad, we got the House of the Dead zombie pack. This is pretty cool. So this alone is, I paid for the whole lot, what this is worth. Again, it's just a game, but this has got a silver. It's actually got a silver. No, so I'll show you. Because I will open the box. I know I just sort of said, don't open the fucking box, Stu. And he starts opening fucking boxes. I am a bit of a hypocrite. I don't know if you realise that. But yeah, so it's so when I got it, it's like it needed a bit of an iron. Both needed gluing. I think the glue would come away. Definitely looked like this. The woman, I'm sure it was a woman, because I can't remember her name, it was Jackie or something. Because we messaged each other because she sent me a load of other shit. I said you didn't need to do that because I think it cost her more in postage. He's like, we fit shit, and I was like, don't we need to send them, honestly. But she insisted. But they'd definitely been in like a garage or a loft. You could just tell, you know, that musty smell. So I'm guessing the elements had sort of broken down or started to make the glue separate. But outside that's fine. And the other indication is to see that bite. So I thought that was actually part of it because it looks like a zombie bite, you know, like a, but it's not. It's not meant to be there. But it's not too bad. It's not like terrible. It's not ripped in half or whatever. It just looks like, I'm guessing he's been in a garage or a loft because that's definitely that's a rat bite or some shit or squirrel. The old quirrels have been at this. But yeah, pretty cool. So years ago, no, I haven't seen this. Years ago, I remember I bought, and I got the lads a couple of them, like for the Wii U, the hand cannons and stuff like that, and I've still got them. So I'm guessing this is kind of like a similar thing to that, like, you know, they must have done a run of different bits and bats. But unlike Ghost Squad, this has got a silver. I don't know if you can see that. It's a silver zapper. Like outside of that, there ain't nothing to shout about. It's just a game and the silver zapper. But yeah, because it's zombies, because it's House of the Dead, and I say I've never seen this before, and I'm sure there'll be people saying I picked one up for £2, and I know, yeah, well, fucking bully for you. I fucking picked up your nan for £2. Yeah, and the only other, again, because of the I can't get, because the cardboard's a bit thicker. I don't know if you see that little indent at the back, because that's where I had to re-glue it, but I can't get that straight enough. Again, you could probably like pack it out and it'll bust. I'm not that bothered. I'm really not that bothered. But cool as shit though. Gotta admit, if the Wii did anything right, it did do shooters really good. Except for Mad Dog McCree, which is the one I really would have wanted to be good. Right. Wii stuff done. See, I'm wrapping through this too quick, man. Far too quick for a Christmas spectacular. I don't think there's anything else. I'm just having a look because I know I'll forget something because I stash things away, you see. And a lot of stuff's on the shelf. And that's obvious and to hand. And there might be other bits that I fucking put somewhere and I thought, oh yeah, I'll show that and I'll just forget about it. I hope not. But anyway, right. So we've done some Nintendo. We've got a lot more Nintendo. Trust me, there's lots of nice Nintendo coming. It's a nice Sega. What we'll do some Sony. We'll do some PlayStation. Sony ponies. For the Sony ponies out there, Stu, Gen Pixel, who else is a Sony pony? Don't know. You know who you are. Right. Again, going back ages, man. I don't know if I showed this. If I have, you probably forgot. And you probably didn't watch anyway, so it don't make any difference. So there's nothing, you don't remember anything. I've had this for ages and I've missing a manual out of it. Again, job lot of stuff. And I think it was manuals and covers and inserts and stuff I bought. And weirdly, there weren't many PS2s in there, but one of the manuals was this manual. And they weren't in the picture because it was just a pile of manuals. And I was like, what are the chances? When I opened this box just to double check that it was that manual, there was a dead spider in there, like it was been petrified kind of thing. So as I opened this box, this is a PlayStation, I went pump like that, and obviously the dead spider's corpse popped up, but it wasn't like a little mini spider. It was like, it would have been quite big in his day. Fuck me. Fuck, I nearly shit a brick. I showed her what, she's petrified of spiders, and I showed her what I'd done, and she was like, she would just like had a heart attack. I nearly had a heart attack. So that's just like, it always makes me laugh when I think about it. But anyway, the game is the Prince of Persia trilogy. I'm not going to show you inside and all the manuals, but I will on this because there's like again, a little side thing. It's not something I'm going to hunt down. I've got the Silent Hill one. I think there might be a Call of Duty one like this, but they are designed as this. See what I mean? So you get like all the 3 discs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's a proper design box for this, not someone's just fudged it together. But yeah, as I open this, sort of like clunk, fucking dead spider's corpse jumps up. Oh my god. Yeah. So anyway, like I say, nice little. I think there's a couple of these. Someone's going to tell me. Again, I ain't going to hunt them down. But I like stuff like that. I like stuff that's a little bit different, a little bit off, you know, not run of the mill. I don't know if it's worth anything. I don't really care if it's not. But it's been sat on the shelf for ages because I didn't put it in a creepy bag because obviously that's how I remind myself it's missing something, be it a manual or whatever. Generally it's just a manual. So yeah, there's that anyway. The old Prince of Persia trilogy. On the shandy, stomach's not great. It's not been good. Not been good for me. That being said, next year, 2026, if I make it, I'm joking. Well, I'm not joking. I am deadly still, but I should be all right. I'm not dying. I don't think I'm dying anyway. It feels like I'm dying, but I'm not. Sorry to disappoint those out there. I am on the NHS waiting list now for surgery. So hopefully this nightmare that I've been going through for the last couple of years may come to an end. I don't know. It may get worse. We don't know yet. But something's got to give. And again, I've mentioned that before in the past and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe like the stress, anxiety of Christmas and everything else. They had a massive flare up. So I'm kind of like a bit delicate from a stomach perspective. Those that have had stomach issues, you know what I'm talking about. The stomach definitely controls the brain. It's not the other way around. Yeah, so I'm kind of like trying to be sensible but still trying to enjoy myself because fucking life's for living, man. It really is. And this, you know, as you get older, feeling normal, it's a very rare occurrence, fortunately. Not the you know the sort of ignorance of youth and your thoughts of immortality do not hold up well. Anyway, look, that being said, but the good thing about being old is you can just waste your fucking money and hoard shit. So, right, I've got some quite nice PS1 titles. I know. Right, so PS1, you can see said PS1 collection there. I have got some nice games up there. I have got some noticeable omissions up there. There'll be some people that say, oh, you got that one there, it's fucking shit. Like, I don't know, if I looked on here now, Wacky Racers or Silent Bomber, or there'll be some other thing, I don't know, Strike Force Hydra. You know, people be like, get rid of that, get rid of it. And they'd slim it right down, like literally to like the gold, as you used to call it. But I don't know, I've got these like Hugo games, Hugo the Frog. Do you remember those? Do you remember Hugo from the Amiga? Fucking... Right, this dude here, he was on the, I'm sure, right, unless I've got the Mandela effect, he was an Amiga guy, German, I'm sure he's German. And on the Amiga, it was a dead basic game, but the graphics were like fucking amazing. But there's a couple of those on the old PS1. Well, I've got 4 of them. I think there's 5, at least 5. I'm sure I'm missing at least 1, if not more. But people say, oh, get rid of all that shit. You can really thin this down and, you know, this, that and the other. But it ain't about that for me. And I have thinned it out, like loads. Like there's very little sports in there. You know, really very little sports. And there's a lot of good games. So for me to add anything to that, it kind of has to be a little bit different, a little bit, you know, a little bit wee. Not necessarily expensive, not about that. And I know a lot of people get annoyed with like, oh, it's the cost. Not always about that. Yeah, not always about the cost. Because there's good games that are cheap, right? And there's good games that are expensive. And there's expensive games that aren't very good. But they didn't sell very well and they're kind of rare, sought after. And there's some games that just got a cult following. And they kind of sit in the middle. They're all right. Stuff like that. A bit like the Spider-Man games, I suppose. Just sprung to mind. So anyway, with the PS1 stuff, like I say, it's not that it's, oh, we're going to get them all. There's no way. Right? Same with PS2, you kind of have to make an executive decision early on. And that's what I did. So in my local game shop, I always pop in there, see him, say hello, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And he happened to have, like, I think over 2 weeks, he had like 2 really nice trade-ins of PS1 games. Because he even sort of said, he goes, it's unusual for me to sell you anything. I said, I know. There was a couple of, he's told me that they're all complete, and then there was one that I went back to get, and he hasn't got the manual. I'm like, fucking hell. Which was a shame because it was a good price, and I would have had that. I can't, the price of the manual, you may as well just buy it complete, if that makes sense. But I'll keep looking. So anyway, these games ain't cheap. He did look after me, did me a deal, because I say they weren't cheap. Spent some money with him, and he was quite like, I don't know, not happy about it, but I think he was all right because he knew they were going to me. And I showed him, took pictures of my collection because obviously I had to reference what I had and what I didn't have. So, without further ado, no, oh, actually, this is a lie. There's a lie. There's one at the bottom there, and I need to mention that separately. So all of these are the ones here were from the shop. I think that's probably the order. Again, like this game isn't a great game. I think probably 3 out of these 5 are all right. The other 2 are probably a little bit whatever. But it's the nature and it's what they represent that intrigued me. So this one, again, this is from a second batch that came in. Because I don't remember seeing that one. He goes, no, that came in like last week. And it's Critical Combat. I mean, it looks absolutely awful, but it's an early PlayStation. And you can tell that because the number is 196. Again, I don't know. I used to show you these things, but in recent times. It was 196. Anyway, it's 196. Very early one-on-one beta. Really trying to tap into that 3D fighter. Vic Tokai by Vic Tokai. Can't speak to it. It's probably really, really bad. But probably in the same vein, probably pretty good in that sort of set. I don't know. But yeah, I seen that one. I was like, I've got to have that. So we've got Criticon, right? This one, I think is half decent. It's an RPG, Baldur's Gate kind of style. Dungeon Siege. I remember playing Dungeon Siege on the PC. I really enjoyed that. And it is Darkstone, Evil Reigns. EA title, probably before they were complete dicks. DSI, I don't know who that was by. But yeah, if you can see that. I'm not going to bother putting any fucking gameplay on it because the video will be long enough anyway. But yeah, you get it. That sort of isometric, top down, sort of view. Quite nice, quite detailed. Wizards and Warriors, Lord of the Rings. Who doesn't like that? If you do, you're a fucking idiot. If you don't, I mean, if you don't like it, you're an idiot. Anyway, going back to bad 3D fighters. This one's a kind of later release, actually. It hasn't got. So, obviously, Criticon, you can tell it's an early because it hasn't got the banding. Hasn't got the livery, the stripes, whatever word you want to use, right? The PlayStation banding. Usually how you can tell an earlier release. This one, although not an early release, I don't know if they improved the combat in this, I don't know. But again, similar vein, one-on-one beat 'em up. This is Yusha Heaven's Gate. Again, I hadn't seen it. Looked okay. I bought this before Criticon. I bought later on, if that makes sense. Because obviously it wasn't in the week that I went in there. It was just these couple of games here. So I went in and see Criticon and goes, oh, didn't see that one last week. It goes, no, it come in the week before. So hence why this one was like, oh, okay, this is part of a bundle. So this is Yusha Heaven's Gate. But it is 713. So not especially like late at all, really. But it's got the banding, JVC game, Japanese combat. Don't know what that means. But one-on-one beta. I'm sure it's terrible. I'm sure it's absolutely fucking dog shit. But hey ho. Right, now we step it up a little bit. So we've got some couple of pretty pants 3D fighters there. Potentially. I'm quite happy to be proven wrong, and I probably will be. But there is no doubt. Ain't no doubt. Now, what I can't speak to with this is probably the load times. I suspect they're probably not that bad, truth be told. Because they're from a certain company and because it's on the PlayStation 1, generally, things significantly improved at this generation. And we've got Real Bout Fatal Fury. They're quite nice, the sort of smaller form factor case, you know, with the hard plastic edged cases. Obviously, SNK, Neo Geo title. My understanding, I don't think I've got many, if any of these, was these ported quite well. I think they played quite well from a loading perspective and stuff. But again, I'm quite happy to be proven wrong. But when I seen it there again, I was just like, you know, from some of my winnings from doing all these markets with Fob, I should have said that, man. A massive thanks to Fob and Liam towards the end, but Fob mainly for this year, for putting up with me and me nonsense. And Daz, can't remember when Daz McGowan bailed on us. But yeah, this is like the fruits of our labour and sacrifice and long weekends and long weeks, you know, finishing work and still doing stuff. So yeah, this is where it's all come from, essentially. Because yeah, the cost of some of these, and I don't need to tell you, because a lot of you don't know what they ain't cheap. But it's not about the money. It's really not. I'm not making videos. Oh, look at the value of it. No, I don't do shit like that. And the last one, I weren't gonna get this because was it Eddie Rollercore Someone mentioned this. I think they had it at one of the events. Or did he have the Japanese version? I don't know. I just thought, I don't think the Japanese version is any cheaper. I could be wrong. I could be talking complete bullshit here. But I say, it was in the guy's shop, and when he did the bundle deal, I was like, you'd be stupid not to get this, Stu. He basically given me it for cheaper. Because a lot of these are quite kind of like on that mint level from a CX thing. So a lot of these he did me at box with a reduced price. So he even said to me, look, worst case, if you don't like it, you can take it to CX and get more money back from trading, which I wouldn't do anyway. So anyway, this is Gun Gauge. I don't know a great deal, if anything, about Gun Gauge. When I saw it, I knew. Again, I'm sure it's fucking Eddie or Dylan had it at one of the events. I'm sure it's one of them pair. And it may have been the Japanese version. Again, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Now, I think it's it looks like Gears of War, you know, like not behind the person shooter kind of like type game, but I can't speak to it. Storm awesome 3D worlds, vaporizing armies from another dimension, special abilities and incredible attacks, but remember, keep moving, blasting, standing still will be the death of you. So yeah, it's like a run and gun in the 3D world, I'm guessing. Konami, so that's going to add another fucking however much onto the value of it, let's be honest. So yeah, that is the sort of the nice PlayStation games. Hopefully no one's disappointed with that. I don't know, they're quite cool. However, those 5 games I'm going to really struggle to fit in that wall. I've probably got the space just, but yeah, there ain't much breathing room up there at all. This one, so I had this was at the bottom. I've had this one in there for years and years and years, and it was always missing the insert. And one of these fucking ones where you see the insert on eBay and it's basically like a couple of quid less than the whole fucking game. So I've always just been like, no, can't be bothered. Then I went to Rich at oh god, what's this fucking shop called? Not Level Up, not Model. I can't think what it's called now. Super Game Shack. Rich at Super Game Shack. Sorry, we weren't watching anyway. Went to Rich's shop, Super Game. Seen this in the cabinet, and I said, "Oh, can I have a look at that one?" And it was 20 quid. And he goes, "Oh, it hasn't got the manual." And I went, oh, "Okay, that's why it's 20 quid." But obviously, I didn't want it for that. Even at 20 quid, if it's complete, I still would have had it. I wanted it for the insert. And it's again, it's just one of them titles. I think a lot of people kind of like it, and you know, the IP of it's quite cool. And it's Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Just Street Fighter. It's like Tetris kind of thing with Street Fighter characters, like super chippy characters. So yeah, again, not a cheap game, but I wasn't willing to pay the going rate for a whole other copy when I only did the insert. That 20 quid. Less the manual, mine had the manual. I'm like, cool, I'll take that. So that is what we did. So thanks, and Rich looked after me. I did buy some else from there. But unfortunately, the other part of his shop wasn't open, which is where some of the other stuff was. But it ain't a million miles from me. Switching it up, not doing switch, no. Switching it up. Knob. Right, we're changing tact. Right, we're going Super Nintendo. Low flying, maybe not. I don't know. Some nice titles in here. Not all of them, but some nice titles. First up, this has been, oh my god, how many years? Big Mike Houlihan will tell me, because he'll probably fucking know how long ago it was that he sold me this. It's got to be, God, it's got to be pre-COVID. Got to be over 5 years ago. I've had this fucking game sat on my shelf, missing the manual. It feels like it's longer. It probably isn't. It probably said, no, it's only been 2 years still. It's not. It has been a while. Finally, this is the weirdest thing, from Australia, so all the way from the land down under, I managed to get a carton manual to complete, which I already had the manual anyway, but to complete this box that I bought off Mike, which I already had the cart from years ago when I was back in the blast furnace. Can't believe that lad, some person, very kind person from America, sent me the cart through. And I remember that when I opened it on camera. I showed you guys before, showed me, and I blew my fucking mind. And it is Final Fight 3 on the American Super Nintendo. So I had the cartridge, like I say, from this chap over a decade ago. Big Mike Houlihan sold me the box again, probably over 5 years ago. So feels like the longest time. I mean, trying to find a manual. So finally, from Australia, got the cart and manual for Final Fight 3. So I obviously got a loose cart, which again I can move on and offset the cost. But this fucking thing, I'd seen one of these, I think, before I bought that off Mike. In the UK, I think someone wanted 80 quid for it, and this is, like I say, this is going back 5 years. I'm like, fuck that, because obviously I had the cartridge, and I really wish I'd bought it back then. I really, again, not buyer's regret, right? So I should have just bought it. But how weird, it's gone from America to Australia to the UK. Is that a bit of a journey, is this? And well, it's a cartridge. But Mike, if you're watching, like I say to people, man, it might take me a while, but I'll get there in the end. So we will, the unification fight, Final Fight 3. And that does mean I have got all 3, 1, 2 and 3, box complete on the American Super Nintendo. Because obviously, for those that are aware, I think only 1 and 2, I think we got proper Power UK. I think 3 is like Nintendo Europe or something. I can't remember, there's something weird about it. But yeah, I think I'd had Final Fight 1 on the SNES American back in the day anyway. I think I might have swapped it for something, I can't remember. So I always had that sort of like stuff I had back in the day kind of attitude to it. So yeah, I've got all 3 of these now anyway. I'll probably suspect, no, I was going to say that the American version is probably cheaper than the PAL one, Nintendo Europe. But it's probably not. I bet there ain't much in it, to be honest. But there you go, Big Mike Houlihan. He said he was going to come back. He ain't come back yet. Be good to see Big Mike. But that's complete now. No one cares, Stu. There we go. Maybe Pete SNES-tastic will give a shit. Maybe not. Right, again. No, these are all PAL games. Nothing spectacular here. Come in a job lot, box and manual, and I'm like, in my head, I know I've got the cartridge for that, and I did. Why did I keep it? I think because this must have been that sort of Mega Drive vibe to it. I didn't play a great deal of this. Someone was on about it when I mentioned them last time. Anyway, it's NHLPA Hockey 93, and someone said something about the Mega Drive and the SNES versions, and why the SNES version is shit compared to the Mega Drive. And it was something like this hasn't been built for the SNES. It's almost like they converted it, but really badly. I can't remember now. And it kind of makes sense to me, because realistically, you probably think the SNES could make a better fist of this, but hey, I don't think they ever did. Always kind of, to me, is always a Mega Drive title, NHLPA. CX, eBay. No, CX. Right, we'll do this eBay one, because the rest are all CX. Here they are. I bought the second one of these from a show because I was cocked up and I bought some for the Intellivision that I thought was Atari, and obviously I'd already paid them and I felt a bit bad, and I said, oh look, keep the money, I'll just swap it for something else. So they still got a sale and they were quite cool with that, and it was Pinball Fantasies, which is the second one. So this popped up on eBay for a pretty good price, to be honest. And it's Pinball Dreams, obviously, because I meant Pinball Fantasies. Definitely an Amiga title, all day long, right? all box complete and stuff like that. Quite a nice yellow box, something a bit different. I like that. I can't speak to how it plays. Usually the SNES ports versions of the Amiga titles ain't too bad, you know. They don't do a bad job of it. But yeah, back in the day, these were quite. I mean, the pinball fantasies, pinball dreams games were really good on the Amiga because it was the dawn, not the dawn of, because that's probably wrong, because there were previous, electronic pinball games, but they kind of stepped up a little bit in terms of the mechanics and the physics, I think, which really made them stand out. Right, the rest of these now are some CEX. Probably all paid with cash, to be honest. I don't do much. I do a little bit of trading to CEX, nowhere near as much as I used to. Because I ain't going to the car boots and getting fucking bags of old shite. And to be honest, the way CEX are now, they're really, really ruthless, really, really picky. You know, the sort of golden age, I think, of hauling any old shit into CEX. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's over, but it's less fruitious than it used to be. This one, again, I don't usually see, I've not seen it on CEX before, so it kind of piqued my interest. I was like, okay, we'll take a punt. Didn't have a manual. Like, oh, okay. I'll wait till it turns up, see what condition it's in before I go hunting for a manual. And it come for it. It actually had a manual. That manual, the cover come away. So it's fair play to them. They've sold it as no manual. I've kind of fudged it together a little bit. It'll do for the time being. You know, I can't really speak to this game. I don't. Again, I think it's an Amiga game, and it's Test Drive the Jewel, or Test Drive 2. Is it Test Drive 2? Yeah, Test Drive 2 the Jewel. Bit of sticker residue there. Can't do anything about that. It's an old one. Been there 30 years. But a Mega Drive game as well, wasn't it? On the Accolade label, the cardboard boxes, the Ballistics label. I can't really speak to it. I don't know. James, Import Gamer, Driver, Mr. Driver. Let's go, Mr. Driver. Is it any good? Weirdly enough, I've seen someone put a post on one of the Facebook little weird group things about that, sort of saying they always have a weird pull to go and play it on the Amiga. There must be something about it. Right. Right, this one, oh my god, right. Remember I told you about the Puyo, not Puyo Pop, Herberix Pepito, and there was two, the yellow box and the green box, and obviously someone must have traded them both in and I missed out on the green one. Very similar thing with this game here. Again, this is like during COVID, I think. Some of them, again, everyone's trading shit into CEX, right? And there's some nice SNES titles that I'd managed to bag. And the first one of these I'd missed out on. I got the second one. And obviously knew it was that because it was the only one that was in stock, and the second one was the only one in stock from the same place. And when the second one come through, it was in really, I've got it, it's really nice condition. I thought, fucking hell, the first one would have been, because it's from the same person. So I've always been a bit begrudgingly sort of hunting it, but not wanting to pay the full value of it, if that makes sense. So it got to the point. So it got to the point where I thought, you know what, bite the bullet, Stu. We'll take a chance. We did all right at one of the events, can't remember. Thought we'll spend some of the winnings and we'll just order it. And I think it was the only one in stock, box manual, and it's Micro Machines. I know, but about 35 quid, I think, 35 quid, something like that, I think. Probably about the going rate, and I've seen this at a number of shows. I've always kind of like, again, because I've got that thing like, I should have had that years ago. I didn't. So I always looked at it, and generally a lot of people do price themselves against CEX. I'm wondering if I did actually have a couple of quid credit, maybe like a tenner, you know, trade some real shit in. In the back of my mind, maybe that's what I did, and I thought, you know what, we'll spend some of the winnings and just get it and chance it. And it come through, it's really nice. You know, against a 9 and all that kind of shit. But again, more of a Mega Drive title. Come on, if we've got to be brutally honest, Micro Machines is a Mega Drive title. It's not a Super Nintendo game. It really isn't. Probably more suited to the Super Nintendo with the adapters and stuff than it would be the Mega Drive. Right, a recent purchase, very recent. I ordered this from CEX, came through. Oh my God, right, it was complete. The box was absolutely fucked. Missing a tab, a big rip down the back, I'll show you. Not on this, I'll show you on this box. And I was like, oh man. So I thought, I'll stick it on put it in me bag for next time I go to CX the next week. In the middle of that week, another one came in stock. So I thought, well, I'll buy that one and then I'll hold fire just in case it's even worse. It can't be, well, I thought myself, it can't be any worse than the one I've currently got, but just in case. And this is the one I've got here. And it's of an age, right, but it's nowhere near as bad as that one. So that one went back, give me a refund. Again, not cheap at all. Probably cheaper than eBay, which is why I bought it, because I just would have bought it from eBay otherwise. And it's T2, the arcade game, one of the sort of Super Scope titles. So I don't know if Stu, he's the T2 guy. I know he enjoys his T2 games. Obviously LGN, not a great not a great sign, but it's all right. Like I say, it's an honest copy. It's not going to win any awards or anything like that. But the one that they sent me first, it had a rip from here, like through the middle. And what they've done, the cheeky bastards, they've stuck their like little barcode sticker across the middle. I'm guessing either to stop it ripping anymore or to hide half the rip, so it might have gone even further down. You know, it had like tabs completely gone. So yeah, I bagged the sort of a slightly better version, I suppose. And that's what we have there. I've got both Terminator games, Terminator 2 Judgment Day now. I think that's them all on the SNES, I think. Don't quote me on that. Right, an absolute bargain from CEX. This is one of those games that I think visually has always intrigued me. God, Bennett, I think, if I think hard enough, I'm pretty sure Big Dunk, Wooly Weeble, he sent me a loose Japanese card of this. And I think between us, we may have thought or agreed it's probably fake, I think. But it's hard to tell sometimes with them because of the way the labels are. But it looked a bit whatever. But it looks, as a game, it looks fantastic. Really does look fantastic. Again, it's a Mega Drive title. Looks really nice on the Mega Drive. But the Super Nintendo one is quite expensive. It is quite expensive. Scott Sega Zombie, in one of his videos, was it his video or was it on his Facebook shop? Can't remember. He had an American version of this, and I said, "Oh, I'm interested in that." Never heard back from him. Scott, right? It's what it is. Don't matter. I just assumed maybe he'd kept it or he'd sold it, but I did sort of say, "Look, I'd be interested if you're not keeping it. I'd have it off you." Never heard back. Probably just fate played a part in it, because then it appeared on CEX, box of manual. No, it was box without manual. It was box without manual. I'm not lying to you. If anyone wants, I'll put a screenshot up. Box with no manual. And the price of it is like 35 quid, man. And it's Hook. It's Hook on the Super Nintendo. And it is the English version as well. It's not the sort of multilingual Nintendo Europe version. This is in fucking lovely condition. It really is. I've not done a thing to it. But this was listed. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put a screenshot up. Box, no manual. And it come through complete. I was, even at with no manual, right? I was like, oh, I'm in. Because obviously you're, with the multilingual ones, the EUR, you can get lucky in like France, Germany, Spain, yeah, all them places, Italy. And you can get a manual for a lot of the games because it's multilingual. When it's UKV, man, that window goes zoop, right, literally to the UK. Or if you're lucky, you might get a weird one in Europe, but generally not. So I chanced me on. I thought even if I just get one without a manual, it can sit on the manualless pile that I've got there, but it come through with a manual. Fucking unbelievable, Jeff. Absolutely unbelievable. Do me a favour, plug me into a Sega. I told you it'd be a bit mixed, didn't I? I did tell you that. Right. One megadrive. Sole megadrive. From me secret website, and I will not reveal that source. It's hard enough as it is. Stuff sells so quickly there. This game's absolutely fucking terrible. It's on the PC Engine, it's terrible. It's on the Mega Drive, it's terrible. The original is a really good game, really good arcade game. Got a good Master System port. Come out on the American NES. We didn't get it in the UK on the NES. But this one, I don't know what they were fucking doing. I don't even want to say it looks good and plays bad. I think it's both. And it's Rastan 2. Rastan Saga. But I had, still probably have got it, a loose cart of this, where, you know, back in the day, where they hacked the fucking backs off so it will fit in. Yeah, it's just brutalised it. I mean, it still works, but yeah, I mean, it's like all there. But oh my god, this is like, it's not a good game. Yeah, because it looked, the stills look okay for the character, although he looks like I don't know, like he's a bit overweight and a bit like me with a shield and a sword. Not the sort of the athletic limber chap that you see there all from the first game. It hasn't got that speed, that fluidity, that sort of platform hack and slashy. It's really slow. It reminds me a little bit like old Beast, but worse, if that's possible. But yeah, from the site again, it was cheaper than eBay. It's always cheaper than eBay. It weren't a deal, right? It weren't like 10 quid. It's probably like 25 quid or something. I think, maybe more. But I don't get many Japanese Mega Drive games because there ain't many I'm really that bothered about that I haven't already got. And so seeing that, and I thought, we'll add that one, as terrible as it is. Right, sticking with Sega on the Game Gear. So, from these two from eBay, we'll do that one last because it's quite a nice one. These are both from Spain, I think. Who was it speaking to? Jono. Jono sort of said, "Oh, you know, don't dismiss Europe for some of the Game Gear titles." And generally, I don't. But it is a bit of a bind, you know. You have to keep changing and looking across and stuff like that. But anyway, these popped up, separate sellers. And they sent me. I watched it. Sent me a deal. I was like, "Yeah, I'll have that." Again, I don't think these are on UK. This one may have been, but it might have been more expensive. Which, whatever. They come in a box. It's Hurricanes, based on the comic. I can't ever say that I watched the comic, the cartoon. Can't say I ever watched a cartoon. This is both a SNES and a Mega Drive game. But I can't speak to it. I don't really know. Football, like a cartoon football thing. And although not a cartoon, it is football. It's a striker. Again, not one that I've seen over here in the UK anywhere, but another one off the list. I want to say I'm probably sub 40 games now, but I can't be sure. I'm assuming, yeah, you don't get much info on these. I'm assuming that striker, like the elite striker, you know, Striker World Cup and that we got on the SNES. Don't know. Answers down below. I'm guessing so. And then from Rich's Super Game Shack, which is luckily I kept the sticker on there. Phantom 2040, I believe, Viacom. Phantom 2040. From the comic. Don't know if there's a cartoon. From the comic. Again, on the Mega Drive and on the Super Nintendo. So, a bit of a theme there. Oh yeah, this Phantom 2040 was not a Master System. Striker is not a Master System, and I'm pretty sure Hurricanes isn't a Master System, but bear with me. No. So they are sort of Game Gear exclusives, I suppose, from a Master System perspective. Moving swiftly on. Right, rolling out the big guns now. This is the meat and potatoes of your Christmas dinner. Nintendo at the minute. Nintendo. So these two popped up on eBay months ago. No manuals, box and cartridges. Boxes are all right, right? The Nintendo boxes, NES, right? Nintendo boxes, they're all right. Again, fettered them away. They look okay, look half decent. Fortuitously, I had the manuals. With these two here, I only need 3. I need 3, but they all need to be complete. So I need box and manuals, essentially, because I've got no manuals for either of them. Did I win these on bids? I can't remember. Or was it best offer? I think it might have been best offer. And it weren't much lower than what she was asking. I think that's what I did. I think, because I remember having a conversation with her to sort of see if she had any more, and she didn't. I think she sort of said she sold it years ago, which is a bit of a shame. But what we managed to get, and I say it brings us down to 3 box complete needed for the NES set, is Donkey Kong. So the black box versions of these, you just don't see them. You really don't. Again, of an age, honest copies. I know Ollie 8-Bit Boy's doing his Kong off in the UK or whatever. I'm terrible at Donkey Kong. It's a good game. It's like I enjoy playing it, but I'm not very good at it. And definitely not good enough to be in a tournament. But yeah, really hard to come across these now. They're getting so fucking difficult to find. And in a similar vein, Donkey Kong Jr. So we managed to bag him as well. This one's probably got a little bit, just where that sort of Nintendo tab goes over, obviously, again, over the, you know, back in the day, someone got over exuberant and just off. It's not the end of the world, because you just don't see this. You just don't see it, guys. So I'm quite happy to get it at all. And like, I'm not going to take it, no. Price-wise, a couple of £100 for both, each. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. Obviously, I had a duplicate manual. I've still got them. I can't remember now. Which can move on to offset it, but you know, realistically, it's not putting much of a dent in it. So that's where we got to with them. We've got 3 left, which is Aladdin, Donkey Kong Jr. Math, and then Stack Up. Stack Up you can actually buy. Donkey Kong Jr. Math I've never seen. Aladdin you can get from Italy. It's probably the most accessible one left. The other 2, don't know, man. We'll see. Never say never, you never know. Right, so that's a couple of nice Nintendo ones there. Super Nintendo. Again, these have been accumulated over the year. Oh, from all different places. One was a fellow tuber purchase. That was eBay. Yeah, these are all eBays. We'll do the tuber. So from Clay Graphics, Clayton. God, he was having to sort out, clear out, whatever you want to call it. Months ago now. He messaged me. I showed a few bits, didn't I, that I bought off of him. This one, he came back and said, oh, would you be interested in this? He helped me out with the payment, sorted them all out, this, that, and the other. We'll keep that one in the back burner for Christmas Spectacular, which is what we're doing now. And it is Terror Enigma. This is kind of like an RPG lot, I suppose. some nice RPGs. This is the PAL version, as you can see from the box. I have the Japanese version of this. I can't remember what it's called now. Not Estopolis. Can't think now. It's called something. I think it's called something different in America. The American version is called something different. Or did they not get this? Is this the one the Americans didn't get? Oh, damn it. Can't remember. They all changed the fucking names, didn't they, back in the day? But yeah, from Clayton. Really nice condition. Didn't have to do anything with it. Super duper. Thank you, mate. I know it's been, you probably forgot, months and months and months and months and months. So I really, really do appreciate that. Okay. So, I can't remember what order. I don't think it particularly matters what order. I think this one might have been CX. When I've said eBay, I think this might have been CX. I can't remember now. PC game. In my head, this is a PC game. This lineage is always PC. It's Might and Magic 2. Kind of more like Eye the Beholder in the sort of dungeon crawler sort of vein, if you like. 3D dungeon crawler. But I don't know why I was, in my head, things get pigeonholed. And Might and Magic has always been more of a PC type game. Probably someone will probably say it started on the Apple. Probably did start on the Apple. I don't know. But a very nice condition box. Elite, long gone. Shame, but yeah, quite a nice one to add. And like it's not cheap, but again, I've got a feeling it was from CX. But if it was like literally at the beginning of the year. It's been that long. These ones were definitely not from CX, because CX do not stock these. I can't remember now. I remember this one. I think I took the guy an offer. I made a conversation about it. Was it that one or was it? No, I don't think it. No, I'm telling absolute porky pies now, because that was Chrono Trigger. It wasn't this one. I think I just bought this. I think the guy had it for like 250 quid. I'm sure it was. I think I just bought it because I'd missed out on this at one of the markets. Someone had it and I missed out. I was like, oh, damn it. So I thought, you know what? We're going to get it now. It's Super Mario RPG. Probably helped with the Switch release. Kind of brought the value down a little bit on it. But again, from an American SNES collection perspective, I thought, yeah, we've got to add this. Again, going back a long time, guys, for this one. But thought, yeah, we'll add that one in for sure. Which is what we did. I quite enjoyed it, actually. It's all right on the Switch. I'm guessing of its time, if that makes sense. Probably now it's less impressive, but back then it would have been really impressive. But enjoyable nonetheless, because it's nice to sort of see a different take on Mario. This one, I think there is a PAL version. I'm not sure if it's PAL UK though. It might be. I think it's quite expensive, but again, I saw this one, an American version. Not as completely different, not completely different. It is significantly different than the first one. The first one is like SimCity meets a side-scrolling hack and slash with like city building elements to it. Really, for its time, was like amazing. People didn't really know much about it back then. The second one is just literally rips out all of the world building elements to it. Kind of ruins it, I think. A lot of people sort of say turns it more into a side-scrolling hack and slash, but like not even as good as the first sections of the first game. And it's ActRaiser 2. Again, American, US, American. As I say, you can get this PAL. Enix, not Square Enix yet. There was still Enix. But yeah, it's more of the side-scrolling hack and slash elements. But again, from what I know, what people said is not done even as well as the first game's version. So, but but I don't think the price wise, you know, I probably did the PayPal paying 3 sort of thing and chop the value up a little bit. And then the last one on the Super Nintendo. I remember this from, and I think I want to say Super Play. Always interested me and always intrigued me, but it was moving into that, how could I put it, like the Fantasy Star world, where it was like, it wasn't Wizards and Warriors and Dungeons and Dragons. It was like the sort of future spacey kind of thing. And I think Chrono Trigger sort of bridged that a little bit. And I can't remember when this came out afterwards. It's from Enix, but this kind of went more towards that whole thing, this Robo Trek. We never got this in the UK. This did not get a PAL release at all. I can't speak to it. I don't even know if it got a Japanese release, you know, because it says Enix of America, and I wonder if this was an American produced role-playing game. I don't know. If I could be asked, I'll put something down here. Either way, I don't recall ever seeing like a version, a name change for Robo Trek, if that makes sense. Again, could be wrong. Happened before in the past. Remember I told you before that I'd forget something on the shelf? Fucking twat. So just sorting out the stuff, because I've got to move everything around. Like, there's no space. This is going on. This is a marathon. Feels like a marathon to me. And I keep getting interrupted with different bits and bats I've got to do. Anyway, by the by. Forgot an NES game, didn't I? Ah, got this. When I started to get into RPGs, JRPGs, I say mainly from Super Play and stuff like that, like started with Fantasy Star and whatnot. This was one that was always touted as one of the sort of four valves, the four bearers. You know, they changed the model, they changed the system. It was kind of like and it's still going today. Still going today. US exclusive. Well, no. Only in America from an English perspective. Obviously, come out in Japan. It's probably like 2 a penny over there. It really is. But over here, a lot more difficult to get hold of. So we got us a copy of Final Fantasy. Finally, it's got both books and both. I think there's both books and both manuals. Is that a thing? Or is it 2? Both books, both manuals. Both manuals, both maps. Both books, both maps. I think that's the case. Or it's a manual and 2 maps. Something like that. I think there might be a guide thing in there. I can't remember. I'm not going to dig it all out for you. No, it does. Look, includes 81-page Explorer's Handbook, Game World and Dungeon Maps, plus full colour monster chart. So it's got all of that in it. See? Does happen if you read through. But yeah, not a game I ever really experienced. Stupidly. But obviously back in the day it wasn't a thing, you know, in terms of playing NES games. I mean, no one even had fucking NES that I knew other than John, and he had like 2 games because they're so expensive, let alone start importing stuff from America. So yeah, it's just one of those titles that I always wanted to add, like Dragon Quest. And I know that given away with Nintendo Power, it was given away with something, so it's a little bit more easy to get hold of and a little bit cheaper. This one with all the stuff in it isn't like cheap. I think it's about 100 quid. Like, again, split it with the PayPal thing, so like kind of offset the cost a little bit. But I have got, and at some point I was going to show it, I might as well show it now, but I have got, and I missed out. I mean, I don't really care too much. It's on the Switch. It's the Final Fantasy collection, but it's the I can't remember, like the one that come from Play Asia. So I ain't that fussed, you know. People say it's not the official PAL one. Like, I think if you're scanning that barcode into CX, it probably come up like. I don't care. I've had this for again fucking ages, right? I was going to do a video on that and something else. I probably still might do, but yeah, obviously that collection is that reimagined, kind of nicer graphics if you like, less 8-bitty and stuff, maybe some quality of life improvements. But yeah, just like an iconic title, the Final Fantasy games. I mean, again, 3, or 6, you know, depending on how you look at it, is my favourite. Right, what we've got left now is N64, don't turn off, and then some Mega CD. So I think what I'll do is the Mega CD stuff, and then those that don't care about the N64 can do one, can't they? How does that sound? That sounds alright, doesn't it? Right. God, Mega CD. I think after these, let me check, 2 secs. Right, just check Mega CD. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5. One of those, probably a little bit iffy, the Lawnmower Man. I think it's broken, I think, from recollection. But the others aren't cheap, right? No, they ain't getting any cheaper either, probably. I've got 3 here. These, again, are probably all of a value, especially the last one. The first one comes from Australia, all the way from down under again. And I always blur the lines between this and Soccer Kid. It's Marco's Magic Football for Denmark. Yeah, I don't know what it was at some point between the two of them. They both did the same sort of, again, it's all complete. I'm not going to, whatever. I don't know why. Maybe just didn't sell very well. I don't know when the release date with this, the year wise, stuff like that. Because the Mega CD, the 32X, kind of started to get a little bit like there's too many fucking bits and bats. Probably like worse than the fucking Wii and Wii U. And why Nintendo didn't learn from that, I don't know. Right. Did I say these are all from eBay? These are all from eBay. Again, paid with like paying 3 or whatever. Spread the cost. This one was. This is from the continent. Germany. I think Germany. I can't remember. I think Germany. I don't know. I'm saying Germany because it sounds German, but I don't think. I think it was from Germany. This is the Smurfs, the Shrumps, the Shrumps. Infograms again, probably just a port of the Mega Drive version with some CD sound. They have come with these little, comes with this protector, so that's going to be another little rabbit hole I might have to go down because all of mine are in crinkly bags. I do quite like them in these, so that might be something I look to purchase anyway. But again, complete, they're all complete. I'm not going to bore you with it. I say I don't think there's anything spectacular about this other than it's the Mega Drive version with CD sound. Correct me in the comments if I am wrong, and I probably am. Last one for the Mega CD. This come from Belgium or Holland. I know Scott, Sega Zombie, got this from his mate. I think it's about 500. I think, I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm sure at some point he said it was about 500 quid, which is a fucking good price, right? I don't know if he sold it or did a trade or whatever. I distinctly remember him saying about it. I could be wrong. If Scott is even watching, let me know. And then this one popped up on eBay, and I don't know what it was. It must have been something to do with the conversion rate. But when the guy, I think he sent me an offer and I countered, and then he accepted my counter. But my counter, I think because of the conversion rate, I think this worked out, and it's a lot of fucking money, right? It was, because I remember saying in my head, I thought I could pay £200 a month. It was just over 600 quid. Might have been like 630 with the postage and shit like that. So that's what I did. And it's The Adventures of Batman and Robin. The thing with this one was it doesn't come up too often. One did come up, and this is what I think sparked my interest in it, and I missed out on it. And I think it went for more. I think it went for like 7 something. And I think the guy must have put his up for that same amount. And then obviously I was watching it, he sent me an offer and I counted. But because of the thingy rate, the exchange rate, it worked out a lot cheaper. So at that price, I was like, you know, if you accept it, I'm fucking quids in here. Anyway, however it worked, it was about 210 quid a month. 200 a month, and then the import and whatever, which was all paid for. But yeah, not one that you see very often. And this is the problem with the Mega CD. You know, it's not just the cost of them, it's just you don't see them. Because there's people like me just keeping hold of stuff, they're not letting it go. And that's the nature of the beast. I think that probably spans other hobbies, collection thing, I don't know, collect Pokemon cards. You know, people don't want to sell them, they keep hold of them. You can't buy them, even if you wanted to. Maybe that's the thing, I don't know. Right, the last leg. If you've stuck it out this far, I thank you. God knows how I'm going to edit this thing. Right, we've got N64. We'll finish on N64. So firstly, I got me James Bond box set. I pieced this together from bits and bats. The sleeve come from a good mate Fob. I got the box, I think from eBay in the job lot. I bought the cart from somebody. I bought the manual from Kieran. I got the controller from somewhere else. You know, it's a real Frankensteiner of a box, but it's all right. You know, it's not a minter. I don't want it to be a minter. I just want it to be an honest copy, and that's what we got. You know, we've got a nice, honest N64 set here, so I'm quite happy with that. I'll get it all bagged up and it'll go into storage forever and a day, never to be seen. Right, give me 2 secs. Hopefully the last jump cut, and I'll move everything down. Right, last section, N64. I say, if it's not your bag, understood. I can let you go now. We've got one non-power game. Again, this popped up on eBay. Good enough price, all complete and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to have that. I'm going to have that. It didn't get a PAL release. American owned. Wow. American, English, and Japanese. Harvest Moon 64. I did think it was sun-faded. It's not. That's the actual style of it. It's Harvest Moon, right? If you've been around long enough, you know Harvest Moon. Well, the early sort of farming sims, life sims, or whatever you want to call it, really set the trend, if you like, for future games of this ilk. All complete, all pretty nice condition, you know. Again, not peanuts, guys. We're not talking a couple of quid here, but in relative terms, from getting one from the States, cheap enough, right? I haven't got many American N64 games. Like, it's an exclusive, essentially. I think the other one I've got is the Tactics RPG one, I think. So the rest now are PAL games. To preface this, these have been again accrued over the years. I've got a couple of thank yous to mention. 2 people, I think, at least. Yes. So what I'll do them now, so I don't forget. Where are we? We are that one, and which was the one was it? No, it was that one, I believe. So, excuse me. From Miles N64 Tress. There's a lot of CEX, not my thing. PS3, not my thing. I watch his retro stuff, but each to their own, you right? You know, and that's what YouTube's about. It's about you. You do your own shit, right? But I like his retro sort of thing. Yeah, I'm not lying to anybody. Anybody shows PS3, Xbox 360, whatever, you all know this, right? I just skip past it. It's up to you. Same with any CEX. If you walk around a fucking CEX shop, it's getting skipped past. If you've got a video that just says, let's look around and see, I ain't watching it, right? That's just how it is. I ain't got time for that nonsense. There's a lot of other stuff I want to watch. I ain't wasting my time looking at a fucking CEX shop. Anyway, that being said, right, Miles has got a full, in absolute fucking, probably the best condition, I'd argue, N64 set. Really, really nice. You know, very particular, very meticulous in terms of what he collects for and how he collects it, and it looks just that amazing. I am like completely the opposite of her end. Mine's just like a fucking ragtag barbarian, fucking Asbo collection, but it's all there, right? Most of my stuff, none of it's like super mint or whatever, but it's all there. It's all complete. It's all in nice enough condition, like honest condition. Anyway. I can't remember, he got it, maybe Australia. He got like a sealed version of this or something. So he very kindly punted this on to me. I think he helped me with the paint again, just like chopped it in half kind of thing. Not one that you see very often. I keep saying this, and this is the thing, when you get to these full sets and you're an idiot like me, that's what you find. It's less, well, it is about having the money, but it's even being able to buy them, as I mentioned before about the Mega CD, and this rings true for a lot of these sets. So what he very kindly looked after me with was Airborder 64. I'm guessing it's like snowboarding, but not snowboarding in the future, something like that perhaps. I don't know. I can't really speak to it. I haven't played it. Let's be honest, fucking hell. But when I get past Metroid, there's some of these stuff I could start chucking into the analog and giving them a whirl, sort of thing. You know, even off the summer cart. So yeah, Miles, man, appreciate you. Keep up the YouTube, man. You know, let's say, just because Twatface here says PS3, whatever, don't make no difference. You do you. Just be honest to yourself. Don't chase the curve. Don't chase the trends. Do you. Be you. Right, from another good friend of mine. Well, I say good friend of mine. I don't think I've ever met the guy. Got him friends on Facebook. Yeah, he must have watched me on YouTube at some point. His name's Darren. I don't suppose he minds me saying his name. Darren Old. He's clearly on the groups because he saw me asking about this. And he says, I've got a copy of that, Stu. And we worked the price out, really reasonable. You know, weren't like peanuts. And it weren't like, you know, mega expensive. It was very good rate. And I was like, mate, that would do me fine. And I'm sure it's this fucking game because I'm questioning myself. Supercross 2000. One that was available sort of to buy, but the condition weren't great. Daz contacted me because he's seen I was interested in one on Facebook. He said, I've got a copy of that, and we worked a deal out. So yeah, really happy to get this one. Again, in great condition. So many thanks, Daz. I know I'd said thanks already, but yeah, super duper. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's try and accelerate this somewhat. Right. In no particular, I can't remember. These are probably a combination of eBay and some CEX. Probably the most would be eBay, I think, because you just don't see these on CEX. Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat Mythologist Sub-Zero. I think it's kind of like a RPG elements to it. I can't really speak too much of it. It's on the PlayStation 1. Again, not a cheap game on that either. But there we go. Sub-Zero Mythology. Mortal Kombat. Probably one of the cheaper ones of that bunch. Tony Hawk's Pro Skate 2. That was from CEX, actually. I'll tell a lie. That was from CEX. Never really been a big Tony Hawk's fan. There was only the first and second one on the N64. Again, honest copies. Not, you know, nothing you ain't heard or seen of before, to be honest, truth be told. What else have we got? We've got boom. I'm getting a little bit more pricey now. Toy Story 2 pops up every now and then. Toy Story 2, you know, like semi-uncommon-ish, I think. You know, but again, it's all about the condition with the Nintendo boxes. And yeah, quite happy to add that one in. Right, a few more now that you see less so. I can't remember if I mentioned this one. I can't recall it. Off-Road Challenge. Not one I was ever familiar with, to be honest. You see this quite a lot in the continent, because it is multilingual in that sense as well. A lot of their Italian, on the Italian sites, this one, but it has that weird hologram thing on it. But again, it's still in English and stuff like that. So again, what you can see from the back there. There is not a UK V1. It's one of them EUR releases. What else have we got? Gordon Bennett, where did I get this one from? I can't remember now. Don't know. Dual Heroes. Again, pretty uncommon, not going to lie. Never really heard of it. Looks like Power Rangers one-on-one beat 'em up. It's got to be from that universe. I don't know. It's a fucking blatant rip-off. Probably absolutely terrible. Let's be honest, it ain't many good, if there is any good one-on-one beat 'em ups on the N64. Wasn't really its forte. But yeah, Dual Heroes, Power Rangers one-on-one beat 'em up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Looks like it to me. Getting down there now. Right. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Probably maybe the best one out of the ones released, some would argue. I can't remember. I know on the PS1 this is a tricky one to get in the big box. It's quite expensive. This one probably about the same price, maybe a little bit more expensive. You're pushing up towards the three-figure number. Probably the better, like I said before, there ain't many, if there is any good one-on-one beat 'em ups, it's probably one of the better ones, if not the best one, on the old N64 there. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Okay. Oh God, this one caused me some problems. This is one of those games that is notoriously bad condition because it's the cheap box. Whenever it was released, I don't know, they just didn't give a shit. It's like the inbuilt trays and stuff like that, and the cardboard's just pissed in. It just shreds, peels, and all that kind of stuff. I can't say much to the game. Against one-on-one beat 'em up, it's Flying Dragon. I had to do some work on this box. I ain't gonna lie, it weren't great. I had to really try and fix it up. Because of that in the tray. Oh, there's a bit of a chunk out the corner there as well. But again, I'll keep my eye out. You know, if one pops up, I'll upgrade it. But I mean, no rush. And the same goes for a lot of these games in the N64 and the Nintendo cardboard, because it's just the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, guys, it's what you have to deal with. Unless, I say, you're paying real big money for real nice, like mint condition stuff, and that's not really me. I mean, I've got a lot of irons in the fire elsewhere, so can't really do that per se. Like this one, again, weirdly, I can't remember where I got this from. I want to say it was eBay, and I can't think how I come about it. I've completely gone fucking I don't know, but it's Daffy Duck starring Duck Dodgers. So you can get this in Europe, but you've got to be careful because the name just changed. It calls it whatever it is, whatever language it's in, but it looks the fucking same, but it's not. This is still multilingual. I think it's like Spanish and Italian, French and Italian, but there are other like German and whatever, and it changes. So just be careful. Just be careful what you're buying when it comes to this one. Again, uncommon. A lot of these are just uncommon games. You know, that's why they're literally the tail end of where we're at. Right. So this one was the last game I needed. Because now, after these next three, we have a complete in-box CIB complete N64 UK PAL set. All box complete. All box complete. And that one's Rampage 2 Universal World Tour. Again, one you just don't fucking see. You see the loose carton and stuff like that, but you don't see a box version very often, if at all. This was up on bids, and I ended up winning it. Again, not cheap, 300 quid, PayPal paying 3, something like that, like 100 and whatever quid a month. But it's the last one I needed. The last one I needed. So, you know, you go big or you go home. But yeah, if you see that knocking about for cheap and it's complete, grab it, because it's not one you see. Right, last two games. Like I say, these do mean I have a full complete box UKV Power UK set. Finally, years after completing it as like a loose hybrid set. So this one, there's one that's popped up on this, 500 quid. It is in better condition than mine. Is it £500 better condition? I don't know. I doubt it. I've got one rip on the top and that's it. In the Zone 2000 basketball game. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. It's terrible as well, I bet. But the UK one is just literally UK on the back. There's a lot of Italians and, you know, what do they call it? The one with the little squiggly thing on it. Oh, I can't remember now. But knockabout. They are PAL, but they're not UK. And it depends how you want to word it. But that's the only defect on this one. And I got this from a good mate, Jimmy Ergen, who did have a full set, and he sold it to another guy as I was buying a couple of these games off of him. And that's where I think I got a couple of them from. I just remembered now. This was definitely one of them. Toy Story 2 was maybe one. Maybe Daffy Duck. But yeah, he looked after me. Again, this weren't cheap. This is probably about 300 quid as well. It's just the nature of the... And then the last one. This price of this has just gone through the roof for some reason. Scabby copies go for about £1,000. No joke, easily. Someone bought one, I think, that was worse for wear. My box isn't too bad. It needed some work. It's more creased than damaged, and because it's black, you can't get the creases out. But I had the box in the car for a while, and I managed to get a manual from a guy on Facebook who'd offered it to somebody else who just ignored him. So I jumped in there, bought it. Again, weren't cheap. I can't remember how much I paid for it. 150 quid maybe, a lot of money, but it's Rat Attack. So my copy, again, isn't a minter. You can see there's a lot of sort of, it's creasing to the cardboard, but because it's black, it just shows up again along that lines there. Late release, it's not very good quality cardboard with that. That doesn't lend itself to any longevity of it either. But yeah, for some reason, it's just the market forces at work. It just pushes this. I don't know, same as this one, makes this one really expensive, and that's where you're at if you're into your Nintendo cardboard and you're into sort of maybe getting a box complete. I've done it, and I'm happy to have done it. I say it's been many years in the making, but we've got there. Now a lot of you're going to be saying, but Tootie, it's only UKV, it's only UK. You ain't got a full PAL set, have you? Have you, Stu? And everyone said that to me when I did the sort of hybrid full set. But what about this one, about that one? And you're right, I haven't got them. I haven't got the Australian exclusives yet. So from an Aussie exclusive, you're looking at Snowball Kids 2, Ken Griffey Jr. and StarCraft 64. There is the HSV, like Beetle Adventure variant. I suppose you could probably count that. And then if you want to count that, you could probably count the Zelda Gold one variant. So it's two variants realistically, but it depends how you look at it. I don't really count variants. But the other three are exclusives. So, you know, they will be on the list. Well, albeit one of them. So what we do have, not finished fucking yet. We have Ken Griffey Jr. Aussie exclusive. So we need two. You only need two now, realistically. Snowball Kids 2 and StarCraft 64. Again, I can't really speak to this. I don't really know. I'm not a big baseball fan. I've mentioned this before. I don't really understand. It's like rounders with more rules. So if I could only find a copy of StarCraft... Oh! What's the chances of that? Yeah, we only need one. We only need Snowball Kids 2. This is complete. Good guy on Facebook. Fucking absolutely shit myself. Sending him money for this, and he worked with me on the price because trust me, he sold me both of these. These two together are not fucking cheap. Right? They're not cheap. So it's very much a lot of trust on each side, and he's solid guy. Absolutely did me a solid. So, yeah, if anyone's got a copy of Snowboard Kids 2, let me know. But we'll, yeah, one away. I am sort of still toying with the HSV and Zelda one, but again, they're just variants. They're not exclusives. So there you go, guys. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Tootie signing out. Thanks for watching, if you made it to the end. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.